symbolic interactionism and deviance. Please remember that symbolic interactionism focuses more on the individual versus functionalism and conflict theory, which looks at the broader society-wide explanation. First, we're going to look at differential association theory. That says that individuals learn deviance in proportion to the number of deviant acts and norms to which they are exposed. Let me see if I can make that more clear for you. There are three characteristics that affect differential association. The first one is the ratio of deviant to non-deviant individuals. If many or most of the people that are your significant others in your family, for example, are deviant, you are going to be more likely to be deviant. The second is the significance of the person acting deviantly. If it's your second cousin that's acting deviantly, it may not have as much impact on you as a parent or a sibling. And the third is the age of exposure. If you're exposed to deviance at an early age and often, you are more likely to engage in deviant behaviors. Along with this is this idea of labeling theory, where society creates deviance by identifying particular members as deviant. There is no particular reason for that. The person who is identified as a deviant may or may not do things that are necessarily deviant, but their behavior is identified as deviant even before they might commit things, commit a deviant act. For example, lots of people in our culture use drugs. Not all drugs, not necessarily illegal drugs, but some people, the drug, the choice might be cigarettes or alcohol. But some people are seen as being deviant for the drug use they do. And I'll try to put a little finer point on that. It's the relativity of deviance, which states that not everyone who does the same behavior is seen as equally deviant. The person on the left is smoking crack. The person on the right is snorting cocaine. Now, crack and cocaine are essentially the same drug, but one, crack, is seen as much more deviant than the other. It isn't the illegal drug use per se, it's who gets labeled as deviant. And through that, we also have a stigma, which is an undesirable label used to deny a deviant acceptance. For example, if you are a convicted felon, you're going to find full acceptance in society much more challenging thing. Even if you did your time in prison, and even if your crime was, all felons have the same stigma no matter what the crime they commit, and there are a wide variety of crimes that could be considered a felony in our culture. And the last two pieces we're going to talk about are two different types of deviance. One is primary deviance, and this is the only occasional breaking of norms, and it's something that all of us do. Now, we may not all, as pictured here, steal candy, but everyone does an occasional breaking of norms, which is the definition of deviance, whether we run a stop sign or speed or whatever the case may be. And contrast that with secondary deviance, where deviance that becomes a lifestyle and part of an individual's identity. It's how they live. And that is our discussion of symbolic interactionism and deviance.